Have you ever wondered if you handle the situation properly? I know I have. Well, you're welcome to SIP. Here, we say it properly. And we're looking forward to having you on each episode as we learn together how to say it properly. I am MABEL FOLUKE IRUKERA. See you then. Hello, you're welcome to SIP. And I just took a sip of my drink here. SIP and say it properly. And I am your host, MABEL FOLUKE IRUKERA. Today we're going to be talking about peer pressure. And I'm sure as soon as I said peer pressure, your mind went to what? Teenagers, young adults, adolescents. But reality is, we all get pressured by our peers. And we all experience it. It can be subtle, and you don't even realize what's going on. We're going to be talking about peer pressure so that you know how to say it properly in a way that your child, your teenager, and even you can handle peer pressure. Peer pressure can be positive or negative. You know, what is peer pressure? Let's ask. It's simply when one acts in a certain way to impress a friend, an individual, a group, or conform to their expectations and values. That is just what it is. And because that's the simplicity of the definition, it means we are all susceptible to it. Are you thinking about the last time you got pressure to do something? Let me ask you a question. Have you bought something just because everybody else was buying it? Or did you buy something because you're trying to get compliments from that friend that has that fantastic taste? You said, I'm sure that when she sees this, she'll say something. That's still peer pressure. And in the same way, have you worked hard at a project or a task because you felt like giving up, or you kept working hard because you know you must achieve that goal, you must get there? That's peer pressure as well, because that group is your peer group right at that point, and the pressure they're applying is for you to succeed. So like I said, peer pressure can be positive or negative. Saying it properly in this instance is about sharing your experience. So for instance, if you have a young person with you who is going through peer pressure and you can see that they're struggling, because when you're younger, you're at that age where you just want to belong. You're at that age where you want to fit in. And so it's important to realize that it's not something that a young person does just by themselves. It happens because they're trying to fit in. They're trying to belong to, you know, a group of people or to a class of people. Share your experience. So you can tell them something like, you know what, I remember when I was with this group of girls and they liked me so much and I liked them, and I really wanted them to like me more and consider me part of the group. And so one day they bought a pack of cigarettes. And everybody went into a room and they gave out the cigarettes and wanted us to start smoking. I took a few puffs and I realized that it was not for me. You're sharing your own experience. That's somebody's experience I just shared. And you know, saying that, you know, but I walked away and yeah, I'm okay and I haven't regretted it. It gives that teenager or that adolescent or that young adult, even a friend, the opportunity to realize that you can walk away from something and you'll still be fine at the end of the day. You can also say it properly by sharing a secret code with your child. This one I love so much, especially for those of us that have teenagers, you know, or young adults in the house, because they are under so much pressure to try and impress their friends or to be who you do not want them to be, or who they don't even want to be themselves. Something happens to them, they're out there, they've gone to the party, people are getting into all kinds of rough things. You can tell your child what to do to get out of the situation without them looking wimpy. So they still have the respect of their friends, but they are not going to fall into the pressure of doing the wrong thing. So I'll share this with you. I have a friend, and what he did was he said to his daughters, he has 3 daughters, and he said to his daughters that if you get caught somewhere and you're being pressured to do something that you don't want to do, Like for instance, you're at the party and people are now beginning to get into alcohol or get into drugs, and you know if you stay there, then you'll be pressured into doing that. You say, you know what, this is what you do. Let's have a secret code. And what was the secret code? Just call and say, hello daddy, or hello mommy, or hello auntie. Can I stay longer? Because we're having a really good time here. Anybody hearing you, what they've heard you say is what? You're having a really good time. But the person at the other end knows that that is the code to say, come and save me. Come and take me out of here. So you're saying it properly to that young person. And that person doesn't lose face with their friends, but at the same time, gets to escape from a situation that is not palatable. Did you get that? So what secret code are you going to develop with your child? It's important that we do these things. When we do that, it builds their confidence as well in making better decisions. How can you help your child, resist negative peer pressure? You can build their self-confidence. When you build the confidence of a person, someone's self-esteem, you give them the grit, you give them the power to be able to say, no, I'm not going to do this and I'm still going to be okay. But when you go to a child or to go to a teenager and you say it in a different way, in a way that you think, just say no. Why can't you just walk away? Do they have two heads? You're not getting it at all. All you're doing is pushing them down, and they begin to think themselves, you know what, I better just belong to this group because even my parents don't understand or my auntie doesn't get it. So how do you do that? Let me give you an example. For even you as an adult, you have a friend who you know is always pressured. I know people who are mature already, who are in their 30s and 40s and even 50s, and yet they are still under pressure to act a certain way. So how do you help such a person? For instance, you can say, honestly, you're resisting to buy that Ashwebi for Nike's 40th birthday. Wow, my dear, you're an inspiration to me yourself. You're an inspiration to me. You're an inspiration because I did not think that you had all. Wow, that was good. What you have done is tell the person, good thing you did not buy it because you can't even afford it right now. Or what you have not said it in a negative way, you have said it properly by making them feel good about the decision that they made based on their own analysis. And you now tie it to yourself, say, you have inspired me. Everybody likes to be looked up to. So take that cue and do it with somebody next time. It could be your child, it could be your friend. Or you can say, you know what, something like, see, I'm trying to find something that I wrote here. Yes. So you are getting better at dealing with that friend of yours. I can see that you are making decisions that are not exactly what he or she wants, and they are better decisions. You are really doing good with that. What you have done again is you're saying it properly and building confidence. Saying, so if I made that decision without my friend's influence, it means that I can do it again and again and again. Really good. Really, really good. See, letting the person know that is struggling with peer pressure, know that you see their efforts, it encourages them. We all love to be encouraged in life. We all love to be encouraged. What not to say? Parents, we are very guilty. We are so guilty of this. And that's because many of us have grown up with that as well. Our parents saying that to us, or our aunties, our uncles saying the same thing. So for instance, you say, so if Boma jumps off the bridge, will you jump as well? Have you heard that before? Have you said it? I've heard it, and I know that I have said it at some point, but I'm not saying it like that anymore. I'm beginning to learn to say it properly. What could you have said instead? You see, I can see how pleasing Boma is important to you. I can see how wanting to be like Boma, is something that you would want, because Boma is so popular, she's accepted by everybody. You say yes. You say, but I also see that you are able to make better choices using your own analysis. What have you done? You acknowledge that Boma is popular, Boma is great, out there, everybody wants to be like Boma. You're not pretending that Boma is not all that. Boma might be all that, but your child, your teenager can be all that as well if you build them up properly. Okay? What about this? Don't you have a mind of your own? Many parents have said that. So you don't have a mind of your own. Not even parents alone. You say to your friends, just do it. Have a mind of your own. But what you don't realize is that what you're saying is, when the person does what is pleasing to you, it means that they have a mind of their own. But once it's not pleasing to you, they don't have a mind of their own. But instead, you can say that. You can say you're able to make decisions by yourself, and I've seen you do it, in other areas. I think this is an area you need to work on. That's it. You're saying it properly. You're bringing their attention to what area they need to work on without you necessarily pulling them down. Have you gotten it so far? Well, let's go on a short break. We'll be right back. And we're back. Wow. I hope you spent that little time, watching our commercial, but at the same time thinking about what you have heard today about peer pressure, knowing that it can be positive, it can be negative, and knowing that it's not just doesn't affect just children. It affects children, teenagers, everybody, and even you get under pressure to do things. Well, something came to my mind, and I was going to share that. How many times have you, as an adult, decided that you wanted to take your child to a certain school? Did you check out the school properly? Or is it because of your friends, all their children are in that school? That could be peer pressure. You step back and ask yourself, what are the benefits of taking my child to that school? You're saying it properly to yourself when you check out what exactly that school holds for your particular child. In saying it properly, when we're talking about peer pressure, we have to acknowledge what I have said before. It happens to everybody. It can be positive, it can be negative. It's how you say it that makes the person be able to make better choices and decisions. I'm certain that you have the capacity to make a better choice than you did before. The person is wondering, what do you mean by that I did before? Say, yes, because when you are always trying to be like a bearer, you made the choices that please the bearer. But now I see that you are making choices, and these choices are actually working for you even more. Encouragement, acknowledgement, and what? Empathy has taken place. At the same time, that person is actually on the way to great success with peer pressure. Like that. I know that definitely you have heard a lot today. I know that has processed through you again and again. But you need to go back and ask yourself, are you dealing with peer pressure yourself? Is your child dealing with it? Have you said it improperly before? You have learned how to say it properly today. And you're going to start applying that. Please remember to go on Byronbee TV, subscribe. Let's get your comments about this program. Let's know what you're thinking, and let's know how it has helped you. I remain your host even as I take my sip today, and we close out. Thank you. Have you ever wondered if you handle the situation properly? I know I have. Well, you're welcome to SIP. Here, we say it properly. And we're looking forward to having you on each episode as we learn together how to say it properly. I am MABEL FOLUKE IRUKERA. See you then.